Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is 9 a.m. Welcome to another 1 Million Cups. We'll get you started off and get the festivities rolling. So first off, show of hands, whose first time is this morning? Wow, again, wonderful. Thank you guys so much for coming, making this event what it is every week. We love being able to serve the community in the way that we do. First off, thank you very much to the Kauffman Foundation for letting us use their space and getting everything rolling for us. Absolutely unreplaceable asset for us. Also, some housekeeping notes. All of the coffee cups, 1 million cups, it's important to have coffee. Make sure that those end up either on the trays or in a trash can. Keep the space clean so we can continue to come back and use Kauffman Labs. So the format, for those of you that are new, we will have a 6-minute presentation followed by 20 minutes of question and answers. And we'll do that twice for both of our presenters this morning. So it's really important to us that you engage with those questions. That's really where we find the value of this educational experience, because you have experience that the presenters don't have that you can really add to these startups and to the community. So another announcement, we are launching Chattanooga's 1 Million Cups this morning, so that's pretty awesome. And Nate is actually in Reno this morning with that 1 Million Cups getting things going. So the movement is really taking across the country, so we're absolutely excited about that. So that's pretty much it for getting us going this morning. I'll hand it over to Tony Schmidt and Gift Professor. And we'll get right into it. Thank you.
All right. Test, test. Thank you very much, John. Well, good morning, everybody. I'm going to start this off with, have you ever found a gift for someone and it was perfect and you knew it, and then you couldn't wait to give it to them, and when you give it to them, they love it? That's a great feeling. And that's what Gift Professor is all about. So Gift Professor quickly helps you find a large assortment of relevant gift ideas for your situation from thousands of merchants when you have no idea what you're looking for. So instead of search, it is discovery using a question and answer process. So the idea for Gift Professor came about a few years ago. I met a guy at a conference, and he had devised a survey to answer life's two most important questions. What kind of person should you marry? And what kind of work should you do? And I was intrigued, and I thought, wow, if technology could answer questions like that, that's pretty amazing. And at the time, I was very frustrated that online shopping was so lousy. It was not much better than bricks and mortar. So I enlisted a couple of social psychology doctoral candidates at KU to help me explore a solution for this. And they enlisted their advisor, who is the department chair for the School of Psychology. Gift shopping for others can take hours. I usually don't have hours. I don't think most of us have hours. The main problem is abundance. There's just millions of products, catalogs, websites, and bricks and mortar stores. The prevailing solutions: go trudge the mall, browse online for hours, or you can take a shortcut and just go to one store maybe, or even better, offload the whole process and give them a gift card or some money, or just ask them what they want. Or you can fall prey to what I like to call the stalkers. The stalker economy. You know, gifts is a huge industry, and suggestive shopping approaches work because we're all time-starved. We're all short on the ability to go out and really do the job justice. So we thought there ought to be a better way. Instead of assumptions, we ask, what are the characteristics of the person you're shopping for? So you can conjure up your own assortment of products on our website. Upscale households spend 2 to 3 times more on gifts than the average household. So we asked 300 affluent households to prioritize an ideal gift shopping service. Men said expertly chosen gifts. Women said time savings. So the first thing we did was set out to create the world's best catalog. We have pulled together the best of the best from thousands of merchants. I'm going to let you in on something here, but you can't tell anybody. Our product finders, several of who are here today, apply secret descriptors to each product so that the matching process can occur. These are special adjectives that make gift giving easier. Don't tell anybody. This helps us to organize the CoolProducts catalog. We have 700 categories, which is not something you really want to have, but you have to be able to describe any person. Second, we created the matching process with Gift Professor. It's a simple interview where we ask, the user is asked to answer a few multiple choice questions about relationship, occupation, interests, and personal style. Then we perform the magic. In this particular example, a person with a calm demeanor, a calypso steel drum would be a terrible gift suggestion. But an udon noodle bowl makes a very nice suggestion, as you can see. So Gift Professor narrows 50,000 products down to about 300 for your selection. So it's really just a store where every product is designed to match one or more of the many facets of your recipient. I like this slide because it reminds me of how we originally wanted to return 9 perfect gifts for your recipient. And along the learning curve, we quickly learned that selecting a gift is it's about the history you have with the person. It's all about everything you know about them, the conversations, the experiences. It's not something that can be trivially accomplished. So we can't do all the work for you, but you only have to look at relevant products to arrive at the perfect gift. In the fourth quarter, we had 101,000 unique visitors, and 16% signed up and tried Gift Professor. So we built a platform that leverages what the big firms have done out there by adding a new layer of relevance. Our next hurdle is to build an on-site shopping cart that will accommodate thousands of different merchants. So Gift Professor brings us closer together with gift ideas to help others to see that we know and care about them. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And with that, we'll open it up to questions. We'll be walking around with a couple of mics. So you raise your hand, classroom style. We'll get a mic to you, and you can ask your questions.
It's on. You mentioned that you gather characteristics about the people you want to give the gifts to. Do you get any characteristics about the person giving the gift?
Yes, we originally asked 3 personality traits of the recipient. We used to ask 3 personality traits of the giver, but we determined that we needed to winnow the number of questions down. But we can produce a better result if we know both of those things. And we've decided that so many people like to do a self-survey that we can essentially harvest that information without forcing the issue.
Okay, so this is a 2-part question. One, I'm assuming that you're charging the consumer a price, the 16%.
Yes.
Okay. What about the supplier, the wholesaler of the product? Are you charging a back fee? And then two, if you open this up to, let's just say Macy's or someone like that, are you expecting to charge them a fee as well?
Well, we would like to include as many people as we can in this. This is an affiliate marketing model, so we get a commission if we have a link through the affiliate network. So the only merchants that we can welcome in are those that have an affiliate program. But we would like to bring in smaller merchants. We'd like to bring in artisans. I'm real interested in what's going on at sites like Etsy, where smaller people have an opportunity to market their ware. It's a huge ecosystem out there, and things are consolidating so fast. They change so fast. I was looking yesterday. There was 500 websites that are now 5 websites, and to a certain degree, we're trying to offer an antidote to Amazon. We're trying to offer a opportunity for every merchant to have the kind of access that Amazon provides. Does that answer your question?
It does, but my point too is that everybody's familiar with Angie's List. Angie's List charges the consumer a fee to join that site, correct? And then the plumber, the electrician, it's free, unless you hit a certain level of advertisement. Then they start charging. So we're starting something very similar, but my question is, so how do you make your money off of this? I mean, you're making your money obviously off the consumer, but you also want to make money off of like Macy's if they want to advertise on your lit or your website, et cetera, correct?
Sure. Well, we probably could have a paid placement like Google does, ultimately, and give merchants the opportunity to highlight their products more. But we're really trying to remain as agnostic as we can and produce a result that's true and absolutely based on the best options for the person that's taking the survey.
Sir, of the 16,000 or so that finished, let's set up an account, how many actually got through the whole process and purchased something?
Well, we had over 1,000 of those purchase, and we discovered a kind of a fatal flaw in our system in that most merchants purchase just enough product to get through the season. And we had a tremendous number of people going to these merchants after they found something and the product was out of stock. When we had done a crawl just the previous night, things were going out of stock so fast, it was mind-boggling. For instance, the logo sports industry starts out with 170 SKUs, 170,000 SKUs, and by Christmas, there's usually about 150 left. So the stuff just gets moved in and moved out so fast, and we're looking at trying to create some urgency around that factor. You need to get with it and buy the thing that you found for your loved one and not mess around till the last minute, like so many of us love to do.
Question in the middle here.
Hi, this is a pretty interesting algorithm you have.
Thank you.
And my question really is, there are platforms that have been developed, and Gartner reports the top 3 e-commerce platforms as IBM, Oracle ATG, and Hybris. How do you see your product sitting in the ecosystem of what is already about a 15 to 18-year-old industry now in e-commerce? And where do you see the synergies in terms of interfacing and working with existing online platforms, such as the ones?
Okay. Well, it's kind of interesting because we really can't serve one merchant very well because they don't have a deep enough catalog to accommodate everybody in the world. And we're trying to accommodate any kind of person. Your weird uncle your cousin, every person in your universe. And the way we expect to be able to compete is that our matching process is patented. So, we'll probably object, if someone uses something similar. It's a social psychology-based matching technology in inanimate objects to person, which I think is tougher than matching person to person, like eHarmony.
All right, Professor, we've got a question for you back here.
Yes.
Since you said it's based on affiliate marketing, why would you want to build your own cart on your own website?
Well, with an affiliate program, we don't know what people actually bought until we get the check, maybe a month later, because they don't give the commission until they're sure that you're not going to return it. And so we really don't have our finger on the data like we'd like to have. And there's a number of sites that have an on-site shopping cart like that. Rakuten, which is a big Chinese company that has taken, or a Japanese company that has taken over Buy.com, you feel like you're on the merchant site, but the actual transaction is taking place inside of their e-commerce platform. I think we want to do something like that. SkyMall has their own shopping cart, but it gives. Plus, I don't think our visitors like to be sent off somewhere so much. They kind of come to trust you, and that you have gotten them this far, and then you just send them off somewhere else. I really would like to get to the point where we can develop it, but that depends on me getting a partner to scale this thing, because we've been building this over in Lawrence, Kansas, in the tech center, and we need a significant partner to help us make this thing happen.
Question from the live stream. Nate from Reno wants to know where your passion for gifts comes from.
Well, I have a big family. I have 4 kids, and a lot of in-laws and stuff. And gift giving is either great or it's And over the years, there's been a lot of great gift giving in our family, and I just wanted to be able to keep up with the rest of the clan.
Tony, over here to your right.
Thank you. So I have a little bit of a modification of this gentleman's question, who I believe probably understands the technology quite a bit better than I do, based on his question. But so you said you have patented this process, right? So you have some IP here, which I assume is your competitive advantage to an extent, correct?
Yes, correct.
Well, these algorithms already exist out there, right, on the web, where you buy something and they can track your buying behavior and they suggest gifts for you. Very plainly, to someone who's dumb, could you maybe explain why your process is better than these existing algorithms?
Well, not everything can be patented. For instance, you say that your dad likes golf. That's pretty much a one-to-one response that we can provide to that. We can't patent that. But we do have a relationship, finding products that fit your relationship. Whether it's a intellectual relationship or a, maybe a generous relationship. It depends on the characteristics that we can recommend some really sort of potential heartstring playing products that someone else can't do. And we also can recommend gifts that match on multiple attributes that you have told us about, so that some gifts show up because they're so good on multiple things about your person. So those 2 things, relationship and multiple attributes, are our strength. As far as matching one-to-one, I don't think that's patentable.
Another question in the front to your left here.
Yes.
You mentioned you were working in your laboratory or something in Lawrence.
Yes.
Maybe I came in a little late, but what are you talking about there?
Well, I'm in the Lawrence Regional Technology Center, which was part of K-Tech previously, and it's like the ECJC, and the Kauffman Center. They've been very, very helpful to me and provided, kind of introductions up at the campus, and as well as legal and accounting. So.
Do you get your legal advice from the law faculty or something?
Well, no, I got my legal advice originally to set up an LLC. I'm using a patent firm here in Kansas City for the patent.
Right over here, Tony.
Yes.
I've been actually going through your process as you've been talking.
Oh.
And several of the characteristics that you're asked to select from are not showing on the screen on an iPad.
Oh.
Like half of it's on, half of it's off. So can you talk about the challenges you face from a technology side, and then secondly, is there an app that would be better suited for that market that you're producing?
Yes. I've got one of my developers here. I don't know if he wants to answer that question.
We do have a mobile app that provides a little bit better user experience for that. We're always kind of tweaking how the survey works in order to make it a little more usable. So as we've kind of been going through iterations of that, there's definitely a challenge working with every single mobile platform, especially as the Microsoft Surface kind of comes into play in some of these other platforms. I think that's really where Tony's coming from too on looking for a partner is, we could spend all of our time and all of our money on just mobile platform development and not even scratch the surface.
Similar comment and question from the live stream. Mindy from Costa Rica says, I looked at your site the other day and wanted to let you know that I couldn't access the full questionnaire using Firefox. The scrolling didn't work. Also, I was looking for a gift for my daughter's teacher, and there wasn't a good category match other than, quote, personal friend. Are you expanding the search criteria based on user feedback?
Absolutely. And we have revised virtually every drop down 100 times. We have 120 occupations that came from the Census Bureau, and we have 150 NCAA teams. We do seem to have more problems in Foxfire than we do in anything. Chrome seems to work great, but I have requested the developers make a bunch of changes lately, and I don't think we've caught up with all the bugs in all the different versions. But yes, and that's something I would love is use our Twitter handle and send us suggestions that maybe you experience, and we'll get on them because we want the user experience to be fantastic. It needs to be fantastic. Yes, sir.
You mentioned that you end up tagging all the products and that those tags are used in the searches. Is that a manual process? And if so, how do you do that at scale? Because you mentioned one of your products has 170,000 SKUs. So how do you have a manual process with that many products?
Yeah, well, we have product finders, and they assign these secret descriptors that came from the social psychology research that my researchers did. And yeah, that's definitely a governor. We can put on between 500 and 1,000 products a week with our 4 people. But I think there's a lot we could do there to improve that and automate that and get more products on. But we're not looking for millions of products. We don't want, Walmart stuff. We want really exceptional, best of the best. We usually only have 30 or 50 products per merchant. So that you really get unique, gauge-moving type products. But it's pretty manual right now. It takes, well, let's see, I think we can do 6 or 8 products an hour per person, and I'd love to improve that. Thank you. Yes, ma'am?
As somebody that question shopping online because I want to see the quality of the product. And with you saying that you want to keep things unique, how can you guarantee the quality of the product and the uniqueness of the product with the fast turnaround of the sale and the quantity of the product that you're presenting?
Yes. A big part of that would be having some control over the shopping process with the shopping cart and customer service. And that would come more likely when we scale a little larger. Right now we send them through to the merchant and they have to answer those questions. But most reputable merchants are real good about returning things and fast delivery. So, I do see technology evolving though to where you can study a product better online in a three-dimensional format as we move forward. And it just seems to only be getting better and better with the bandwidth we have. I know when I first had this idea, only 3% of the homes had broadband. So it was dial-up. So I didn't even bother to do this thing. But occasionally we do have a merchant that has something that it looks great online and it turns out to be junky, and we discontinue using that merchant, or we at least talk to them about it. But yeah, it does happen.
Question over here.
Yes.
Given your product mix and the market you're going for, it sounds like you've got a wonderful opportunity for story collection. Have you given some thought about how you will collect the stories of how great those gifts were received and have that be part of the experience, and maybe even people come to read some of these stories and try to recreate that for their own loved ones?
Would love to do that, absolutely. And that's a critical part of making this viral is across the fence type discussions that people have. And we're even working on a story with some of my interns, many who are here today, that's a comic book story of a young woman going to the mall, and she gets knocked unconscious and enters a alternate universe inside of the internet. And it's very creative, but stories are a great way to convey this kind of thing. But you're talking about real stories.
I'm talking about
yeah. Well,
say, I chose this on your site.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the result it had.
Right. Yeah. No, I've got a few stories like that from people, and they come from the strangest places, and it's very gratifying. And they usually come with a few suggestions on what we should do. For instance, people would like to be able to sort by price on the results page. Well, we don't have that right now because that would change the order of the products based on the algorithms if we did that. But it could be done. It's just a big old hairy project that needs to be addressed at some point. But yes, people have found great products. I've found great products. I've had great success. I have a number of friends who had great success. And I'd like to figure out a way to do that. Any ideas you have, I'd be more than happy to hear them.
All right, Tony, you get the last comment. You've got 193 people here. We know on streaming we at least have Nate and probably hundreds of others. Yes, many others. So what's your final thought on what you'd like this audience to take home from Gift Professor, other than maybe a gift?
Well, Gift Professor is really an assistant. It's a little robot that can help you to make your shopping process much more successful. We could save you 90% of the time it normally takes to shop. You don't have to go park and drive in. So really trying to make the important process of giving gifts, which is one of the languages of love, and do it well. Thank you.
All right, it is time for announcements. Michelle Watley from the Secretary of State's office, come on down. Tell us about the Missouri Secretary of State's office and what you do.
Good morning, everybody. As Mike mentioned, my name is Michelle Watley. I currently serve as the director of the Kansas City branch for the Missouri Secretary of State. And here today, I'm here to just give you information about what the Secretary of State offers business owners like yourself. Secretary of State Jason Kander recently opened what we call the Business Outreach Office with two aims. One, to provide resources to small business owners like yourself, and two, to better help you understand how to navigate the process of starting a business and registering your business here in Missouri. The Business Outreach Office reaches and spans across the state different not-for-profit organizations and governmental agencies. We have access to information that can help you grow your business, start your business, and we hope to serve as a resource for your business. We have representatives across the state like myself who are charged with making key relationships in the business community, getting to know the different not-for-profit organizations, leader service organizations that will help you grow and be successful in your business endeavors. So if you need any more information, you want to know where you can go to get a small loan to start your business, how to start your business, resources for writing a business plan, please feel free to contact me. I can be reached at by email, michelle.watley@sos.mo.gov, and I'll be here at the conclusion of the event to hand out business cards and answer any questions that you may have. Thank you.
Kelly Tomlinson. Kelly Tomlinson, you are our next announcer on 1 Million Cups. Startup Grind, tell us all about it.
Hey guys, I'm Kelly. For those of you who don't know, Startup Grind is a kind of global movement that started in Silicon Valley. It brings local entrepreneurs to a really small, candid setting. And so it started there, now it's like in over 30 different countries. So at January, we launched the Kansas City chapter. And so tomorrow night, we have Startup Grind at Crema Lab, which is on 18th and Central in the Crossroads. And we have Danny O'Neill from the Roastery. So basically, it's just kind of a small, intimate gathering. He comes in, we kind of just like all gather around in chairs, and he talks about his story, his process, his failures, his journey, and it's just really honest, open Q&A throughout the whole time, so you can ask any question that pops through your mind, so the conversation goes really organically. And on top of that, we're gonna have wings from the Wings Cafe, if you know Ezzy Redwood. We've got that, and we've got Boulevard beer, and I'm sure we'll have the Roastery coffee since we've got Danny O'Neill. So you can register on Eventbrite if you go to Twitter at Startup Grind KC. We've got the link tweeted out on there. So hope to see you there tomorrow. If you have any questions, you can find me afterwards too.
Thank you. William Robinson, do you want to tell us about Teen Idea Lab? Hurry, hurry, hurry. Make a run for it.
So good morning, my name is William Robinson. I'm putting together a program called Teen Idea Labs, and what it is designed to do is to help teenagers go from the lemonade stand and the lawn mowing business on up into the tech adventures. What we're doing is trying to break down the barriers of entry, so if somebody wants to go into Startup Weekend, they want to go to 1 Week KC, they want to take something to the high-tech venture. Kansas City offers an enormous amount of resources, tools, people, mentors, all of them available to these people if we just get them some introductions. So what we're looking for is we're putting on a one-day event. It's 2 weeks from today, June 12th. Put it in your calendar. We're looking for some mentors. We're looking for a lot of teenagers. The event's going to be right here in Kaufman Labs. Again, it's June 12th. It's an all-day event, so parents can drop them off, pick them up after work. But really, it's just designed to inspire and bring these teenagers into the realm of entrepreneurship, innovation, science, technology, engineering, mathematics, whatever it might be, but just to be able to show them the resources, the mentorship, the community that we have available here in Kansas City, and get them off the launching pad.
And last but certainly not least, our very own Cameron Cushman.
Thanks, guys. You've probably been seeing the slides behind me, but 1 Week KC is coming up. This will be the second year in a row we've done this. If you like 1 Million Cups, you will love the 20-something events we have going on during this week. Great chance to connect, to learn, to talk about your startups, and basically just connect with other people who care about entrepreneurship in the city. So if you haven't checked out the 1weekkc.com website, check it out. It's a really cool site. Big thanks to Crema Lab and Adam Coombs for putting that together and making it look awesome. It's very cool. You can see the complete schedule of events there. We're kicking it off big with Entrepreneur Day at the K on Tuesday night, June 25th. The game doesn't actually start until normal time, 7:05, I think, but we're actually going to have a pre-party. They're opening up the outfield experience for us starting at 4:30. So if you buy a ticket, you get to come and hang out all afternoon, free food in the outfield, and it'll be a great time. Last year it was a blast. A lot of people made really cool connections, and we had a good time. Several other different events going on throughout the week, ending in Maker Fair down at Union Station. Also, there's a couple of different intern events in the works, so if you have interns or you are an intern, check it out because we have events specifically for you. One other event I want to highlight is Friday night is going to be our second startup crawl. We did one in February, and this is going to be a series of shuttle buses that's going to take you from 7 to 10 different locations around town who all have something to do with startups. The Kauffman Foundation will be one of them, but it'll be local incubators and accelerators, the Startup Village. It'll be a really cool way to check out some of the cool entrepreneurial resources that are here in town. Also want to mention National Day of Civic Hacking coming up June 1st and 2nd. If you're a hacker, if you're a developer, if you like to build stuff that you think might be able to help our city be a better place to live and work and hang out, come and help us build something that can make our city a better place. Thanks. Oh yes, I'd also like to welcome our special guests. We have several foreign journalists with us today, so raise your hand. We'll give you guys a round of applause. We're so glad that you guys are here. And that's it.
Thank you, Cameron. All right, on to our next presentation. Who here has a website for their business? Who here needs a website for their business? Yeah, quite a few. Well, you're in luck. Our next presenter, Ben Cottrell with Doodle Kits, is your one-stop shop for making a website and building it and having SEO and all those other things you need. They've recently launched a 2.0 version, so Ben is here to tell us all about it. Have at it, Ben.
All right. Am I on? Thanks, Mike. I'm Ben. I'm here to talk about Doodle Kit. Doodle Kit brings advanced web building tools to everyday people. Tools like these. I'll get a little bit more into these later. Here's our pricing model. We have a free plan which is ad supported and then uses a doodlekit.com subdomain. With the simple plan, you get your domain name and some extra tools, SEO tools, and then basically from there we add more tools and more capacity. Heath Huffman and I are the co-founders and 2 employees. We started Doodle Kit around 7 years ago. We were both working at a health insurance company as developers, and all of our friends were asking us to make websites for them. At that time, it was actually kind of cumbersome even for us to create a website, so we basically created Doodle Kit to get them off our back. We are self-funded, which means we put in about $500 a piece, and that's the only funding that we received. We've been profitable since 2007. We started making money pretty quick. The key thing that happened there, we started our free plan, and then we got an article on TechCrunch, which sort of drove our traffic up, and our revenue kind of increased since then. Here's some quick stats. We have 128,000 active websites, averaging 100 new sites daily. We have 1,500 non-for-profit websites that we provide free through a partnership with grassroots.org. And since our inception, we've created 2.5 million websites on Doodle Kit. Presently, as Mike mentioned, we just released a new version, 2.0, which the main part of that is a new template manager, and it's really allows us to create new templates and allows our users to customize our templates very easily. And now we're really focusing on marketing and customer acquisition through deep metrics tracking and sort of a build, measure, learn life cycle. In the future, we'll be improving our mobile support. That is one place we're kind of lagging right now, and creating some new customer channels. And then we also have some ideas from some marketplaces for designers to create their own designs and sell them, or application developers to create applications for certain verticals, let's say attorneys or teachers, to create tools specifically for those types of websites. As far as how you can help as a community, obviously everybody in here knows somebody or needs a website themselves. Doodle Kit is a great place to start if you really just want to try something out. Of course, we take any kind of marketing advice, driving traffic, increasing conversions. That's really what we're focusing on right now. And I love just swapping stories, talking to people, getting coffee. I work at home, so anytime I can get out of the house is a good thing for me. I'm going to jump into a quick demo, hopefully have enough time, and hopefully I can get used to Windows. I wanted to really quickly create a site just to show how easy it is. I don't think many people appreciate just really how easy it is just to create a site. It's hard to type when you're nervous. Okay, so I've created a website right now. Right now it's pre-populating that website with some default content. As you see, you get our doodlekit.com subdomain, which you can upgrade later. We put a header up at the top. You've got your main content area, your sidebar. And then you see these red quick edit links, and that's the main way you modify your page, your website. Just click the link, change your content, save, and that's done. I'll show you our template library. This is brand new. We've got hundreds of new templates that we've designed, but you can go in and customize yourself. I'm going to preview this one real quick because it's a good example. Shoot. Well, that's not going to work. You'll see a lot of these graphic elements. They're sort of, you can't really see it on the projector, but they're sort of a page, crumbled page look. Normally you'd have to do all that in Photoshop, and we have tools created to allow you to customize these colors very easily. And I'll show you some of those real quick. Oh, I think I'm out of time, aren't I? Does that mean I'm over 1 minute? Or oh, okay. I ran through this in front of my mirror many times. So let's go into the advanced tools. Here is the advanced editor where you can go in without knowing CSS or HTML and customize every aspect of your website. This is brand new, so I'm showing it. There's lots of things to show, but we'll just show a little bit. I'm going to change the background type from a stretch to contained so I can add a new background image. And this is what I was talking about with not having to use Photoshop. We have these image templates, and you'll notice they're black and white. And you can select any of these image templates, and then you select the color that you want it to be. And it automatically chooses a lighter and darker version of that color. And then you can even go in and modify that lighter or darker version and create your own color. This is probably going to be ugly, but I'm going quick. And then you just save it, and then go back to your home page. And right now it's generating that image automatically. It's replacing the black and white and gray with the colors that you've chosen. So you see that background image that you've customized yourself. We have a whole library of different images you can create. So let's see. Okay, I'm out of time. So we're really trying to provide those sort of advanced tools that normally you'd have to be a developer or designer to do to everyone, anyone in this room. So let's go ahead and start with questions.
Great stuff from Ben.
Thanks.
All right, questions. Who's got one?
Right there.
Okay, I mean, clearly I don't think it's that big of an issue given your first slide that you're profitable, but what are you doing to really push out beyond Squarespace or Verb or even DivShot? You know what I mean?
Right.
Big players, so to speak.
Yeah, we definitely, it's one of the most saturated marketplaces on the internet. Obviously, creating websites on the internet is a popular thing. And so it's very difficult to stand out. Like I said, that's one of our key things is making very simple tools, more advanced tools. And a couple years ago, we were kind of ahead of the curve. Now we're starting to get behind. And so we want to provide more tools like the App Store, ways for people to create more complicated applications, not just a website, but some kind of database, integrate that with our website. But really, a lot of it is just about just raw marketing. We just haven't done a lot of that. And we've kind of been lucky without doing a lot of those things that every other startup has to do to start to make money. So that's what we're focusing on now. Organic search, paid search. We really, our funnel was we had mini funnels, so now we're trying to bring that all down to where somebody creates a free trial. Then we get an opportunity to advertise it to them, get them to upgrade, add on services. So it is a big challenge with our competitors. But I think that a lot of people are concerned that maybe there's already something out there like their tool. And I don't think that should be a concern. If you have something you're passionate about, just build it, and you can be a competitor. That's what capitalism is all about. Right?
Question back here, Ben.
Sure.
You mentioned building a marketplace for templates so people can actually create and then sell them, which sounds like a great idea. How far have you gone down that path?
The template manager is the first part of that. You saw a little bit of that. And somebody can create a custom template from scratch. So they can create their own template within DoodleKit without touching a text editor or anything like that. So that's the first step, is allowing people to create those templates. And right now you can export them and share them with people. It's a very manual process. And so the next step would be essentially taking our library and adding some components to that, to where somebody could say, I want this to be in your designer library, and then we'd have to build all of the billing systems. So we haven't really gone down that path as far as the actual marketplace component, and we'll probably won't do that until we really hone our marketing sales cycle a little bit more.
Question for you behind the wall back here.
Sure.
Hi, great stuff, and you're among friends. We don't eat our young here.
Yeah.
Do you own your servers? Where are they located? And are you designing sites with shopping carts?
We are using Amazon right now for Amazon EC2. We were doing some co-location, and I'm kind of a control freak when it comes to server administration, so I prefer to use Amazon. And that's been really good for us. What was the next question? Oh, shopping cart. We do have a shopping cart component. If I just show you real quick. If you go edit your menu, you can add new pages, blog posts. We have a forum builder, shopping carts, discussion forums, photo galleries. And all you do is you put in your website title and your PayPal email address, and you go, and then you just start adding products as you go. So.
Got one for you right here in front of the camera, Ben.
Sure.
I just have two quick questions. Do you have video tutorials on the site for people who...
No, but we should.
Okay.
Was that the only question?
Well, the second question is about marketing. I get all my advice from for computers from my 14-year-old son. And you might want to market to every middle school technology class in the country, because his last project was building a website.
Right.
And most parents get their computer information from their kids nowadays.
Right. Well, he may have used DoodleKit, because lots of our customers are teachers. Getting parched. Sorry. Lots of our customers are teachers that do use it in a classroom environment to teach people teach kids how to build websites. And as far as video help, it's definitely something we need to work on. We kind of relied on discussion forums for help, and we really need to create a knowledge base. Anyway.
Another one right here.
Hi. Do you have responsive design built into your templates?
No, that is what when I mentioned mobile support, that's where we're looking to, definitely into responsive design. I don't like having a completely separate experience, but so that's something we will be looking into. For those that don't know, responsive web design is basically website looks great when it's on a big browser. If you shrink it down, it continues to look great on mobile browsers.
Over here to your left.
Are you tracking how many free trials are converting to paid, and do you care a lot about that?
Yes, actually, that's the way we're going. We have it set up to where you could purchase a website without trying it, and that was one of the struggles that I had as far as figuring out how to optimize our funnel, because there were so many different directions. So we're actually going to move to where you can't purchase a website at first. We're going to make you go through the free trial. That way, I believe that'll make it easier for us to overall optimize that sales cycle. And we are tracking everything. That's part of our whole marketing initiative. We're using a tool called KISS Metrics, which is a great tool, by the way. Anybody that wants to, that has a software as a service product and wants to track their entire sales cycle, allows you to track from the first visit to sign up, upgrades, the whole customer life cycle, so you can actually track the value of that customer over their entire lifetime. But yeah, I definitely feel strongly about that free trial, because that way you get their information right away. It's a very low barrier of entry, and it's a lot easier to promote to somebody. We have their email, they've created a site, than just somebody that's visiting your website.
Next question to your right here.
Yeah, I just had a question. Maybe I missed it. What was kind of your basic revenue model?
Subscriptions. Yeah, yeah. We have a $14 a month plan, $29 a month plan, and $49 a month plan. And we're also going to start looking to added services, email hosting, secure certificates, and things like that.
Ben, right here in the front row.
Have you guys considered bringing in a team of creative or marketing consultants for those who subscribe to those premium services?
That's actually a really great idea, and I was just talking with a local ad agency, Johnny Lightning Strikes Again, and we were talking about that because one of the things that we do struggle with is a lot of our customers, they start out with an idea and it just doesn't work out, and we want it to work out because we want them to be customers forever. So that's, I think, one of the ways we can increase revenues by helping them have effective websites through content creation and marketing. So I definitely think there's a place for that.
Right here by the windows.
I'm not technically inclined, and I was a couple of months ago shopping around, going to some of your competitors and looking at what's out there and that kind of thing, and so I'm a little bit familiar with some of these self-building tools. But is there a way technically, if let's say on one of the competitors, build a site, but for whatever reason decides 3 months down the road or a year later, they really don't like what they've done with them, but they could somehow export out
from Doodle Kit
and come over to yours with something you've already, without starting from fresh.
Unfortunately, no. It is a proprietary platform, and most of them are. The most you can really do is export like an RSS feed from a blog. We potentially could create some tools like that. That would probably be driven by requests, and we really haven't had any requests for that at this point. I would think at the very most, a blog import type tool would be effective. As far as designs, it would be very difficult to take a template from another system or even from HTML and to import it into our system. So.
Any questions from the foreign press? You guys are professional questioners. None. Hey, Ben, tell me a little bit about your background, how you got into this, why you thought it was a good idea.
So I've always kind of had an entrepreneurial mindset. I started my first business in high school. It was a record company for punk bands in Jefferson City, Missouri. And then I kind of started to get in development, and that took me for a while. And I worked for a lot of small companies, and I really enjoyed that small company mentality. I started another company called iPod Studio in about 2003. We were started as a forum, and then we started selling high-end audio equipment to pair with your iPod. That didn't really work out though. And then I started getting more into corporate development, which made a lot more money but was a lot less fun. And it was really, Doodle Kit was sort of an outlet for me. Whenever I was doing that corporate development, it was something fun for me to do instead of doing the daily grind. And so so Heath and I read Getting Real by 37 Signals and got inspired and decided to create the product. And it's been kind of a struggle to get on it full time, but we're now. It's a great feeling for anybody. You don't know what it's like until you actually are doing it full time and you have that freedom to do what you want. It's night and day.
Absolutely. DJ's got a question for you up front.
You've been doing this for about 7 years, so what's your ultimate goal? Is this you're going to grow it big, you want to exit, or is this something to jump off into something else?
As I said, we are we read a lot of 37 Signals material, and their philosophy is don't take money, don't worry about an investment. If you're going to build it, you can make the money off of it. However, we haven't been approached by anybody that wants to give us $1 billion, so that might change. It's not off the table. It's just not really in our plan to do any sort of exit. We've done a lot of work, and we've worked really hard to make this something ourselves. And so I see it really just growing it as any business would, just increasing our customer base, and then, like I said, we really have kind of our TechCrunch article was we bring advanced tools to the everyday person, and we've kind of started to lag behind on that. So that's really where I think we can focus, because we really we feel like we're good at building UIs that make it easy to do easy things, and then allow power users to kind of drill down and do more advancing. So we'll probably kind of spread out in that area and try to get ahead of the curve a little bit.
$1 billion is your selling price? Is that?
Yeah. If anybody wants to write me a check, I'll take it right now.
Ben here in the back.
I presume that your program has metrics so that the customers can see what sort of traffic and how long people stayed on the website, because I've heard about where they might only stay 3 seconds, their attention span's that short, and can you track that sort of thing?
Yeah, that's what we're using KISS metrics for. We're also using Google Analytics, but it does track. It's really nice because it tracks when the user first visits the website, and then once it signs up, it ties all of that anonymous data to the email address that they used to sign up. So you can look at this customer and you can say, yeah, they visited this page, and then 3 seconds later they visited this page, and then they click this button and they signed up. And then within the tool, you can track and say they uploaded a header or they changed their template, and you can see what features 90% of the people used before they signed up, and maybe the people that didn't sign up, what did they look at, and hide that away until later. So I'm a big believer in metrics. I mean, in science in general, that's really, I believe it is a science that you can use these metrics to refine your sales cycle and increase your revenue.
Ben, I've got a question for you. You've got a product out there, you've got customers, you're making it happen. What's your advice for somebody just starting out with their venture?
I should have thought to think through this one before. My advice is, if you're passionate about it, that's the key, right? I have ideas all the time. I say, man, it'd be really cool if somebody did this, but I know that I'm not passionate enough about it to really make it happen. So if you have that passion about something, that's really what you need. And idea is obviously a good part of it, but just try to get it out there. I know people that they get an idea and they want to build this whole structure and company around it, and they have all these ideas, and it doesn't turn into anything. So try to get something going, get something started, and then see if it'll grow into something else, and then maybe you'll pivot and it'll end up to be something that you never even imagined. But just get started, and if you have passion about something.
Any final thoughts?
Did you have a question?
How many people do you employ, and what are your annual sales?
2 employees. I don't feel comfortable with a sales question right now. We've had some patent trolls that have been sneaking around, but I can talk to you about it later, but I don't want to broadcast it to the internet.
That's actually bad.
Yeah.
We're at 10 o'clock, so your final thoughts.
Final thoughts, as far as the product, just try it out. You'll be surprised how easy it is to use. We really like to surprise people with the ease of use. And then just general advice, like I said, just get started, do something. It's a lot of fun, and it's a lot more fun than you'll ever have working for the man. So.
And on that, thank you very much, Ben. Thanks everybody for coming. We'll see you next week.